Welcome to Hancock's VMware Half Hour.
Okay, so welcome back. I hope you're sitting comfortably. Okay, so in this very short video, it's certainly not going to take us 30 minutes, I hope. We're going to upgrade VMware operation or VMware Aria operation for logs 8.16 to 8.18. And if you've been following this little mini series, this is all really put in place because I started off in part 63, 58, depending on which series you're watching, 7 or 8. We are saying goodbye to our good friends, Skyline Advisor Pro. We are on the eve. I actually thought we were more than this away, but tomorrow, 4th of October, or it could be 4th of October midnight. We will check that out. I will remember to put that in my an alarm on for a couple of minutes too, to see whether or not that at midnight GMT it gets turned off, or whether it's going to be sometime later tomorrow. Anyway, so one of the as stated in the FAQ, some of the features of Skyline Advisor Pro have made their way into Aria Operations Manager findings, but there is a prerequisite that must be version 8.18, and you must also have Aria operation for logs deployed as well. So part 63 was a goodbye to Skyline Advisor Pro. Then we've done a video on the deployment of Aria Operations Manager 8.16 because we don't have access to 8.18 in the Broadcom portal. However, we do have access to the upgrade 8.18. So I've done another video on how you upgrade 8.16 to 8.18, followed by another video on VMware Aria Operation for Logs 8.16. Same applies. I don't have access to 8.18, but I do have access to 8.1 upgrade. So this is what today's short video is all going to be about: how we upgrade from 8.16 to 8.18. Now, as I said previously, I've been deploying these onto a greenfield site, virgin site. If we already had Operation Logs deployed, or we had Aria Operations Manager deployed, then we would basically snapshot first before we were deploying the upgrade. But at the moment, we've only just deployed Aria Operation for Logs, so I don't really think it makes a lot of point really snapshotting it. If the upgrade all goes wrong, then we're just basically going to delete the VM, redeploy the appliance, and upgrade. So, and without further ado, I'm going to go back to our VMware Aria Operation for Logs. And if you remember in the last video, this is where we ended up. So what we're going to do now, we're going to select management, and we're going to select cluster. And you can clearly see there at the moment that we've been up for 19 minutes. Our version is 8.16, and we've got a button here that says upgrade cluster. So I'm going to basically click upgrade cluster. I'm going to specify our 8.18 pack file. I think I selected the 8.18 pack file there, and I'm going to click upgrade. Now it is actually sort of kind of telling me, you know, the upgrade process cannot be cancelled once it's begun. VMware Aria Operation for Logs will need to be shut down for several minutes. Please take a backup or snapshot of the VMware Railroad. Yeah, as I sort of kind of pointed out, we're not going to bother with any of that. Because if this does go wrong, then we're just basically going to delete that virtual machine. But if this was in production, then we would obviously basically ensure that we had a backup, and we've also got a snapshot as well. So with that, I'm going to put this on pause because this is just basically sat there uploading pack. As I said, it is a beautiful day here. The temperature is abnormally warm for October. And I've got a job to do with the bees. So whilst we've got this good weather, I'm going to probably jump on and I'm going to do that. So I'll be back shortly. upload happened a lot faster than I expected. Okay, so end user license agreement. Does anybody really read these? It does actually sort of kind of make me laugh, and I'm just going to reflect on an end user license agreement whilst this upgrade happens. Over 20, 25, maybe 30 years ago, I don't know. Maybe over 30 years, I was working for a client. Got to be a little bit careful here what I say. But I was working for a client that were working on an extremely sensitive project. They had come to the end of the project and it was started to be deployed. And somebody had read the end user license agreement for Windows NT 3.3.51. So you can tell how long ago it was. June 1991, 1992, 1993. I don't know. But anyway, it was Windows NT 351 and the project stalled because somebody read the end user license agreement that actually turned around and said that this particular product or OS or something or other shouldn't actually basically be used in a mission critical life-saving environment or something like that. I'm not too sure whether or not that is still a thing in the end user license agreement or not, but it was there. And immediately that somebody actually basically read that, they went, oh, and the project paused until they could sort of kind of get to the bottom of the fact that they had spent 2 or 3 years developing the project to get to deploy it live in production, only then for it to be halted because somebody had actually read in the end user license agreement that the operating system shouldn't be used in a mission critical or life-saving environment or something or other. And that scared the willies out of them. And so it put it on pause. I'm not even sure, to be honest, whether or not that the project even got deployed. I don't know because my work with that client had finished at that point. It did actually make me chuckle that they'd been working on this for over 3 years and nobody at that time had ever read the end user license. But then again, as I said, does anybody ever read the end user license agreement? Right, okay, so with that, I'm going to put this on pause and we'll come back when this upgrade has been completed and we'll summarize then. A green tick, upgrade successful. Well, that went well. That was quick as well. So I'm going to click OK. It already says GA818 there. So I'm hoping that when I click OK, everything's started up. We're not going to get any error messages. And the cluster shows as 818 as well. Okay, looks good. I'm going to go back to the dashboard. It says our uptime's been 4 minutes. So obviously we have missed a bit of ingestion during that time. We've still got logs. I'm just going to click explore logs. Okay, that looks, it's all looking good. Okay, I'm gonna try one more thing. This is where it's, and again you can see the new VMware by Broadcom. So I'm going to log in as admin, and I'm hoping that the password works, because otherwise we'll have to reset that. So that password works perfectly, and we've got a number of events. Okay, so we have updated VMware Aria operation for logs from 8.16 to 8.18. So now I'm going to go back to, you may remember the reason we're doing all this is so that we can actually basically start to see findings in Aria Operation Manager. But Aria Operation Manager has one requirement, that it needs to also be able to see the logs from Aria Operation for Logs. So I'm just going to go back and log into Aria Operations Manager. Okay, so we're back at the VMware Aria Operations, and I'm going to log in, and hopefully I've got the password right there. Okay, we're loading resources. and now we can finally put a tick in that box to complete that integration. You may have noticed that I've sort of kind of basically added a cloud account. I've set my location in VMware Aria Operations Manager that we use for managing lots of clusters around the world. This is the world view is populated with lots of vCenter accounts and VCF and Google, VMware Cloud Engines and all sorts. Okay, so I'm going to go to administration and I go to integrations. I'm going to go to the repository and I'm going to find the VMware Aria operation for logs, and I'm going to click that, and I'm going to add an account, and it wants a name, so I'm just going to call it Aria log. If I could spell. It wants the operational log server IP address, which is like we normally would use FQDNs. It wants a credential. So we're going to specify the collector group. I need to add a credential. So this is operations log server credential. So I'm just going to specify the admin account, credential name, admin, operation for logs username, followed by its password. I'm going to click OK. So I'm going to do validate connection and see if it actually basically challenges me with a certificate. It does. Now, just because it actually challenges with a certificate doesn't mean to say that the username and password is correct. I've come across this before, so I'm going to click accept. Test connection successful. Okay, and I'm going to click add. So we've now got. There was a warning there. It's starting. Okay. I'm going to get rid of the yellow thing across the thought I clicked X there before. So now I'm going to click home and I'm going to have to wait because it's going to have to start sucking in those logs. But this is, if we click diagnostics, this is our Skyline Advisor Pro 3.5 replacement screen. That's it. So we will have to, like, if you haven't actually added Aria operation for logs, you will see a little message here that actually basically says that you need to add VMware operation for logs in or integrate it like I've just done, because otherwise it won't actually basically produce any findings. So that's where hopefully we will actually start to see findings and security advisories appear. It's a little bit different. If we just go back to, so this is VMware Aria Operations 8.18. This is the replacement for Skyline Advisor Pro 3.5, although it's not technically a replacement because as Broadcom have actually stated, they have not implemented yet all the features that exist in Skyline. This is Skyline. I did actually find a report from October the 1st. If by basically going, if you go to Insight Reports and look at Success 360 reports, then you can find the reports there. And there was one thing I actually forgot to mention actually in the first video, Goodbye Skyline, that I did, was go off now before it ends and grab these reports if you need them. We've already done this. We've already gone around and basically downloaded the last 6 months of reports just to sort of kind of print out or have on file in a PDF, so we could actually basically see what findings had been reported to see whether or not that they actually reappear or whether or not that they've been fixed. So that's the dashboard on our friend Skyline Advisor Pro. Goodbye. that is what we've got at the moment. And as my fellow colleague at Experts Exchange and vExpert and vExpert Pro said, Rodney, it's pants. So thanks very much for watching. I'm going to leave you with that thought. Broadcom, it's pants. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.